You stand at the threshold of understanding, yet comprehension remains frustratingly beyond your mortal grasp. These markings you bear are not mere brands, but living conduits of cosmic communication.
Who are you? How do you know the nature of our markings? These symbols have been my life's research, and yet you speak of them as if they're something I've barely begun to understand.
This is a project of mine called Scene Creator. It uses generative AI to create a story. Its world, characters, images of places in the world, and AI voice-acted scenes. So here I've had it create 3 stories. One is dark fantasy, another is about an underwater civilization, and the last one is bounty hunters in space. So let's look at the dark fantasy themed story. So this story is called Mark Soul's The Fateful Branding, and it is about a dark medieval realm where branded humans struggle against demonic forces while cosmic horror entities manipulate fate. So the AI did everything here. It came up with the idea for the world, it created the cover art, and it went on to make characters in scenes where the characters talk to each other. So here we've got 4 characters that it made and 3 scenes, each scene advancing the story from where the last one left off. So let's go into one of our characters, see what it made. So Vera, Night Whisper. She's got a personality, a backstory, goals, relationships. The AI created this image of her using Flux, an open source image model. And it chose a voice for her from 11 Labs and crafted a voice sample in the words that this character might say.
Every fragment of forgotten lore brings me closer to understanding the Watcher's true design, and perhaps to breaking free from their insidious grasp.
All right, and the AI uses these character profiles that it created to inform the story as it generates. So let's look at the scene that uses these characters. So scene 1, Shadows of Revelation, and the AI created an overview of the scene. So in a hidden mountain sanctuary, Vera deciphers a cryptic manuscript that could challenge the Watcher's cosmic control, while Eloin and Rorik bring urgent news about an impending demonic threat. So the AI understands that this is the first scene in the story and that it's introducing the characters in the world for the first time. So the AI created this scene, it made the visuals for the scene, it puts characters in certain positions on stage and generates this background image. It also writes the script for the scene. Here we've got the narrator describing what's going on and then the characters talking to each other. And each line in the script gets read by the character's voice.
By the forgotten realms, these symbols are not just a language.
All right, and so we've got every audio file for the script. And the AI also creates background music specifically tailored for this scene. So let's see what it came up with. Okay, that's okay. It's not exactly a song, but it was, not the latest and greatest music model. So let's see how this all looks together and play the scene.
Dust motes danced in shafts of pale moonlight filtering through the sanctuary's high-arched windows. Ancient manuscripts lay scattered across a massive oak table, their edges crumbling like the secrets they contained. Vera Nightwhisper hunched over a particularly enigmatic text, her pale silver blue eyes tracing intricate symbols that seemed to shimmer and shift beneath her intense gaze.
By the forgotten realms, these symbols are not just a language. They're a potential cipher to the Watcher's control mechanism.
All right, so as you can see, it's running through the script. and we can skip around. It'll highlight a character when they are speaking. And that's it. That's the scene. There are a couple of limitations to this project. So these portraits are not of the same scale exactly. This one is a little bit more zoomed out. These two are a little bit more zoomed in. So, their heads are different sizes. This could be easily fixed with the control net, meaning you'd give the image model essentially a stick figure in a certain pose, and the model would create the character in that pose. Another limitation is the background removal is not perfect. So I'm using Flux, and it creates the image with a white background. And then I pass that image through another model to remove the background. But as you can see, it'll struggle with things like hair. There is a technique that you can use with Stable Diffusion to generate images that have transparency natively, but I haven't spent too much time trying it out. And I don't think that it's available in Flux. Another issue is the voices sometimes don't fit the character perfectly. So for example, Rorik, his voice sounds like this.
My scouts confirm her report. These are not mere raiding parties. This is a coordinated invasion designed to break.
So he's kind of got a southern accent, which might be, what we actually want for the character. But there could be a little bit more prompting in the code for deciding accents, and say maybe all the characters from a certain region in the story have the same accent. So there is a lot of voices to choose from, and that means a lot of accents to choose from. So there really are a lot of options for these characters. Another issue with the voices in 11 Labs is that a lot of them vary in volume. So some voices will be too loud and others are too soft. And that's the overview of the project. So now I'm going to play through all of the scenes in the story.
Dust motes danced in shafts of pale moonlight filtering through the sanctuary's high arched windows. Ancient manuscripts lay scattered across a massive oak table, their edges crumbling like the secrets they contained. Vera Nightwhisper hunched over a particularly enigmatic text, her pale silver blue eyes tracing intricate symbols that seemed to shimmer and shift beneath her intense gaze.
By the Forgotten Realms, these symbols are not just a language. They're a potential cipher to the Watcher's control mechanism.
The sanctuary's heavy wooden door creaked open, revealing Elowyn Shadowmere, her leather armor marked with recent battle scars. Behind her stood Rorik Blackthorn, his knight's posture rigid, yet weighted with an unspoken burden.
Vera, we don't have time for your usual scholarly contemplation. A demonic horde is moving toward the eastern settlements. They'll massacre everyone within days.
My scouts confirm her report. These are not mere raiding parties. This is a coordinated invasion designed to break through our realm's defenses.
And this manuscript, it might be more than just academic research. Look here. These symbols suggest a ritual that could temporarily disrupt the Watcher's supernatural influence.
The manuscript symbols seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, casting faint shadows that danced between the three branded individuals. The potential for liberation hung in the air, as fragile and dangerous as spun glass.
A ritual? To break free from their control? What's the catch? There's always a catch with these cosmic entities.
The risk is substantial. The ritual requires us to temporarily open ourselves completely to the cosmic forces. One miscalculation, and we could become permanent conduits for the Watcher's will.
And yet, if we do nothing, those settlements will be destroyed. The demons will continue their invasion, and the Watchers will manipulate everything from the shadows.
Three branded souls stood at the precipice of a decision that could alter the very fabric of their supernatural reality. The manuscript symbols continued to shimmer, waiting, almost daring them to attempt the impossible. The sanctuary's air grew thick with an unnatural stillness, the ancient manuscripts suddenly falling silent as if holding their breath. A spectral luminescence began to coalesce at the edge of the room, taking shape with an ethereal, unsettling precision.
You stand at the threshold of understanding, yet comprehension remains frustratingly beyond your mortal grasp. These markings you bear are not mere brands, but living conduits of cosmic communication.
Who are you? How do you know the nature of our markings? These symbols have been my life's research, and yet you speak of them as if they're something I've barely begun to understand.
Kyle's form shimmered, simultaneously solid and translucent, his spectral robes weaving patterns that seemed to map impossible geometries. His pale blue eyes swirled with cosmic patterns that suggested millennia of hidden knowledge.
I am Kale of the Spectral Covenant, Guardian, Witness, Intermediary. Your brands are not constraints, but complex neural pathways connecting your limited consciousness to realities beyond comprehension.
Enough riddles. If you know something about these marks that control us, speak plainly. What is their true purpose?
A test. He's going to test us. I can feel it in my blood, in the mark that has haunted my family for generations.
Kyle's form began to expand, filling the sanctuary with a prismatic energy that seemed to pull at the very fabric of reality. The branded individuals felt an invisible pressure, as if their deepest vulnerabilities were being systematically exposed.
Prepare yourselves. The Covenant demands revelation. Your fears, your hidden potentials, they will be laid bare. Only through complete vulnerability can you begin to comprehend the intricate dance between your will and the cosmic design.
The sanctuary's ancient stones seemed to vibrate with an electric anticipation, the air thick with an impending sense of supernatural convergence. Kyle's spectral form continued to shimmer at the edge of perception, his cosmic brand undulating like a living map of interdimensional pathways.
The prophecy speaks of a moment when the branded souls become more than mere vessels, a cosmic alignment that will tear the veil between realms. Each mark is a thread in a tapestry far more complex than mere mortal comprehension.
These symbols, they're not just a language. They're a mathematical progression, a coded sequence that predicts supernatural convergence. But the calculations suggest an immense, potentially catastrophic energy release.
Something's approaching. My brand is sensing movement outside. Demonic energy, sharp and predatory. We're about to have unwelcome company.
My familial mark is resonating, almost singing with an ancient warning. Whatever is coming, it's connected to something far larger than a simple demonic scout.
The sanctuary's shadows began to twist and elongate, responding to the supernatural tensions building within the room. Kyle's ethereal form seemed to both contract and expand, as if the very fabric of reality was struggling to contain his presence.
Prepare yourselves. The boundary between observation and participation is about to dissolve. Your brands are no longer mere markings. They are living conduits of a cosmic design beyond your current understanding.
A low, resonant growl emerged from beyond the sanctuary's walls, something inhuman, something hunting. The branded individuals exchanged a look of unified determination, their individual supernatural energies beginning to synchronize into a potential defensive formation.
So that's it. The code is fully open sourced, and you can get the GitHub link in the description. Hope you have a good day.